Hello everybody, so today we're going to be talking about the Tampines blockbuster new launch, ParkTown. So before we begin, I have a former resident of Tampines. His name is Victor Tan, and he'll be sharing a little bit more about his experience staying in Tampines. But he started off basically with HDB. Maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit more?
Yes, for myself, I've been staying in Tampines for the past 15 years. Why do I choose Tampines? Cheap to stay in, of course lah. Not only just that, because for myself, I travel a lot. You can see that in 1 year, right, I travel almost about 9 to 10 times. So I need to be near to the airport. And this is why I chose Tampines, which is so near to the airport. And of course, this is a mature area where I can get my food, my shopping, and my massage. Very, very comfortable, convenient place to be in. So that's why Tampines.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about your asset building progression in Tampines?
Sure. Let's rewind back 13 years ago. So
when he was still young and handsome.
Of course, now still good, right? So I started with Tampines Premier. Have you guys heard of this Tampines Premier? One of the first DBSS in Tampines. 5 minutes from Tampines interchange, very convenient. So guess how much I bought this DBSS for? Man, guess, just a wild guess, man.
Yes. That was when your waistline was maybe 28 still. So.
Now still 28, okay? Yeah.
And then, I don't know, probably 300,000.
Yes, correct, 300,000. And I literally sold it about 5 years ago. In 2020, I sold it at 813,000, 500k profit in a span of 10 years.
Okay, because I know you so well, I know you really struggled to let go of this prized possession.
It's really heartbreak,
I keep laughing at you. But maybe you want to share with the audience, right? Does it make sense to really offload a HDB that you love so much, which probably is your matrimonial house? There's lots of memories there. Your first child was born there. Your second child was born there.
Correct,
your dog also born there.
Everywhere on my body, every part of it was born there. Yes, correct.
So and sometimes you just feel like if you offload, your first matrimonial house, there's so much feelings attached to it.
Yes, definitely.
And so why do you choose to do it?
At the point of time, my thought process was this: I have two options. It's either I keep this, and I realize that this property, even though it's a very sexy HDB, very convenient, but the growth isn't growing that much. And I can see that there's actually much better opportunities. So I literally swap it from a HDB to a private property.
And one of your biggest concern, right, is also if you were to go to a private, like the installment is so heavy, how are you going to manage, right? So how do you actually overcome all that?
Okay, so that's why I managed to go for something. Of course, it might have the reserve fund. And what I did was that I go into something called a progressive payment, which means that I'm not so stretched. Literally, my payout per month is at a minimum rate lah. I'm thinking was this: I want to go in and I want to sell after 3 years. So as a result of that, I don't really incur that full-blown mortgage installment per month.
Okay, so maybe you are somebody like Victor who wants to know more about how you can actually progress from your HDB to a private. Do contact us at this contact number.
Don't forget.
And we would love to share with you how you can build your asset so that your retirement is more foolproof. So coming back to our main topic today, which is ParkTown at Tampines. So first of all, let's take a look at the site plan. The moment when you look at this site plan, honestly bro, you know what do I feel when I first look at this site plan? I feel like it's a little crowded. I'm not so sure like if it's a residential, would I really want to stay there? What's your thoughts about it?
Actually, if you were to compare these, right, and if we were to compare Treasure, also both of them have the similar kind of land size. Treasure, you have about 2,293 units. For this, right, you have half of what Treasure has. So literally, right, you don't really feel so dense.
So I will have enough swimming pool to use,
Yes,
the barbecue pit. I don't have to camp at midnight and book the barbecue pit, right?
Don't worry, definitely. So in fact, right, today if you look at ParkTown, right, this is actually one of the biggest integrated project in Singapore. Name me a few integrated projects.
Oh, testing me. Okay. I know Bedok Residence.
Okay, continue. Good.
Continue. North Point.
North Point. And the latest one that just recently TOP.
Have the TOP Pasir Ris 8?
Okay, that one. But before Pasir Ris 8, what was it?
Oh, this is testing me. Before Sengkang Grand.
Yes.
Sengkang Grand. Actually, bro, when I look at this, I also thought that, actually it looked like Sengkang Grand. Like you have your bus interchange, you have your MRT, you have your mall, you have your hawker there,
Yes.
all roll into one.
Correct.
Yeah, so maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit more about integrated projects.
So for integrated project, right, there need to be 3 important components. Number 1, they need to have the element of a commercial. And second thing, they need to have your MRT and not forgetting your bus interchange.
Okay, all right.
So out of all these that you mentioned just now, right, do you know which one is actually the largest? Do you know actually out of those you mentioned, right, ParkTown is actually the biggest compared to all these. And today if you look at the size of ParkTown, right, the land size, right, you are looking at 50,000 square meter. Okay, much in the light of today if you look at North Park, it's only 40,000. If you look at even Sengkang Grand, it's only about 37,000 square meters. So ParkTown is a place that is big, and I don't think you will forget where you stay.
Okay, so just to give the audience some reference, ParkTown in fact is twice of Bedok residence size. So now that we are actually talking about the various integrated projects, let's maybe understand how has all these integrated projects performed. Can you walk us through maybe Pasir Ris 8, which probably we have some statistics of sub-sale. In fact, Pasir Ris 8 was one of the hot properties when it was launched. It did about 80% sale, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, so I think let me just walk you through some of the data. So let me just quickly bring you to Pasir Ris 8. So if you were to look at how it has actually been performing, not too bad. So far, they are under the sub-sale stage. So if you look at the 1-bedder, 100,000 in 3 years. Okay, and if you look at probably something bigger like a 2-bedder, in 3 years they made about 302,000.
So should I buy an integrated project? Should the audience consider an integrated project?
So I think in this case, right, it depends on a lot of other attributes like the entry price, and actually it also depends on your facing. So I think there's actually a lot of other attributes to consider. So let me just look at another project, Sengkang Grand Residence, and let's look at the performance. So let's look at how it has been performing. Not too bad. 3-bedroom, right? In 3 years they made about 260. Some of them did about 300. For 2-bedder, averagely about 100 plus, 170, 180. And today, if I were to probably show you something that is not integrated, not near to MRT, this is a property called Riverfront. So if you look at Riverfront, which is also a property in the same district, this one I don't think you want to walk lah. Probably if you walk 20 minutes like that. Yeah, but I want to show you, because of the lower entry price, the property here performed very well. So you see, today if you look right at a big unit, it's like a 4-bedder, right, they did almost about 800,000. How long do you think you can work to earn this money? 810,000.
You take 1 year lah, you millionaire router, right? So 各位观众 please remember to contact him. No lah.
Yeah, so always use property to work hard for you. Okay, so if you look right at a 3-bedder, they did about 720,000 in about 4 years. So if you look at this, right, you can see that the performance, they tend to perform better than Sengkang Grand.
So we are just curious from the audience, what do you think? Put down on your comments. Would you prefer to have an integrated project which literally you can roll down, you have your hawker center, you have your malls, or maybe walk a bit longer, but you are more likely to be in a position of a Huat Gui. We would love to have a one-to-one consultation with you. Please contact us at this contact number and let's have a chat. Alright, so moving on. So we understand number 1, ParkTown is actually the biggest, largest integrated project as compared to many other properties. We also understand that integrated projects probably have to pay a slight premium, and sometimes you could even get a better deal for non-integrated projects. Okay, so number 2, is ParkTown worth considering? Another very important fact that we always look at before if you could consider a property.
It's school.
Yes. So speaking from a former educator, he was once a teacher. So maybe tell us a little bit more. What are the schools nearby?
For ParkTown, within 1 kilometer, there are actually 3 schools. First school is called Angsana Primary. Second one is called Elias Park Primary School. And the third one, okay, every primary school are good schools. Bochin School is generally highly sought after school because it's actually one of the top 50 in Singapore.
So let's discuss a little bit about ParkTown location. Honestly, we do hear from some audience that they say, hey, are you sure that the location is really good? Because it's not really where the hub is, where you have your usual 3 malls, Tampines Mall, Century Square, and what else? I haven't been to Tampines for some time.
Tampines 1.
Ah, yes. So tell us a little bit more about this ParkTown location.
Okay, so for this ParkTown location, right? Okay, you are actually very, very close by to a lot of important landmark areas, like you have the IKEA, you have the Giant, and then you actually have the Courts lah. Yeah, so I think for this is likely going to be just maybe about 2 to 3 minute drive from ParkTown.
Actually, bro, you know, we do have some audience that feedback to us. Are you sure this is really a good location? Because it's actually very near to the industrial areas, and there seems nothing much going on there. Do you think it's really worth putting my money into this place?
Yeah, so this is basically like a repeat story of Pinandari. So you heard of Pinandari? Yeah, very near to your place, right, where you stay, Potong Pasir, yeah. So when we first go there, right, there was basically nothing there. Yeah, but after the government actually rejuvenated the whole area, they built the BTOs in that area. So guess what, today, Pinandari has become a new township. So this ParkTown is going to be a repeat of what Pinandari is going through now. Even though today, if you look at ParkTown, good thing is that it's an integrated development. It's actually self-sufficient by itself. It has the interchange, it has the MRT, it has the community mall, it has everything. So I feel that personally, today as an investor, your consideration is that you should be considering buying property that has nothing yet, because this is actually where your money will grow when it reach the maturity.
Second thing that we would like to highlight to the audience over here, we also hear from the ground that people are concerned that given that there's actually 2 ECs which is so near to ParkTown, wouldn't they be competitors when we want to exit? What would you like to say about this?
So I think what we can do is that we can look back at the precedence of like Sengkang area, whereby Sengkang Grand itself is also surrounded with all the ECs as well. Okay, so I think right, there's still fan for buyers, for resale buyers who actually prefer something newer. So I should say that for ParkTown itself, right, it still has its own fan. People that will actually buy from it because they probably want to roll down the MRT, they want food, they want convenience.
So that if they're staying with their parents, the parents do not have to be in the rain, the children does not have to be in the rain. And actually looking at the resale volume in Sengkang Grand, it does not mean that if you are in an area surrounded by ECs and condo, there will be no takers for your integrated development. I think Sengkang Grand has given us a lot of faith that there will still be fans for it.
Yes, definitely.
And later on we will be touching on who are your potential buyers.
Yes. Okay, so right now let's look at the unit type for ParkTown. So it comprises of 1 bedder all the way to 5 bedrooms.
Okay, so how you're going to buy the 5-bed?
Yes, definitely. Let me work hard towards reach this objective. Okay, so for the 1 bedroom plus study, right, there's a total of 4 different kinds of layout. And Joe, let me ask you a question. Is it very good to buy a 1 bedroom plus study in this development for investment?
It really depends what's the motivation to consider a 1-bed. Sometimes it could be you just got your PR and you feel that instead of spending on rental, you rather have your own property and start building your wealth from there, which I think is a good move and a good stepping stone. I have bought a 1-bed before, honestly, and I did make my money from there. But there could also be audience out here, you are considering a 1-bed just to collect rental. We will touch on the rentability in this area. But in my opinion, I feel that there are places where you could get even higher rental at perhaps almost the same price. If you're considering to buy a 1-bed over here to rent it out, do contact us today because we have a list of places with higher rentability, places that you could even reach more than $10 per square feet. Alright, so moving on to the 2-bed, 2-bath.
Yes,
what do you think about it?
I think today if you look at all this layout for the 2-bed 2-bath, I should say that the developer really did a very good job because all the kitchen here all comes with enclosed kitchen. It means you can walk here, you can cook, and I think now today is a matter of it's a matter of the different kind of facing that you actually get. So today if you look at the 2-bed 2-bath, there's a total of 6 different kind of layout, and I should say that the developer crafted out the layout very efficiently. If you look at the 2-bed 2-bath, all the kitchens are enclosed, meaning today if you want to cook, you can really cook properly. And Joe, this development, right, is a harmonized project. Do you know what is harmonized project?
Aircon latch not counted.
Yes, correct. So which means that right, every cent, every dollar you pay, right, is really into the space itself. There is no wasted money, and the layout is simply efficient and functional.
Absolutely. So I think we will really give thumbs up for the 2-bed, 2-bath, 2-bed plus study layout over here. Maybe if you are curious about which is really the more recommended stack, do contact us for a viewing, and we will love to sit with you one-to-one to have a consultation.
Yes. Okay, so now let's look at the 3-bedroom layout. So it's either you prefer those that the rooms are all tucked at one corner, or you prefer the dumbbell layout. So if you are looking at the dumbbell layout, to me it's a more efficient use of space. Why? Because there's no wasted corridor space. Okay, if you look carefully into the kitchen area, right? Okay, down here you find that you actually have a window, okay, which is perfectly important if you want to cook. Okay, and then today if you look at the 4-bedroom, it's very appetizing, I should say. Okay, it's very appetizing. Yeah, because I think generally in Tampines, people upgraded from their BTO 5-room flat. It's also about the same size as a 4-bedroom in ParkTown. So
much bigger actually. This is 139 square meter without counting aircon ledge. It's almost a EA size.
Yes, correct. And for ParkTown Residence, we have this design crafted out in our showroom, so we do not want to miss this. Developer has placed the 4-bedroom at the most perfect, most nicest stack. Okay, so 4-bedroom is very typically well received by big families like me. I have 3 kids, so each of my kids will actually take on one of the rooms. And today, if you look at the room size, it's almost about 9 square meters. It's big enough to put every single queen size bed or even king size bed into all the rooms. And probably you will ask me, Vic, actually I just bought a 4-bedroom myself. Okay, so why do I choose to buy a 4-bedroom? Because there's a scarcity of 4 bedrooms, right, in this matured estate. And if you look at precedents of like Treasure at Tampines, if you look at Riverfront, and usually the big units like 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, they tend to perform better than the smaller units in this area. And for myself, my age is catching up on me. Can't tell me I'm 46 this year. I want to retire at the age of 50. So my timeline is very tight. So I want to make sure that at the shortest time, I make the most.
Definitely. So I guess price is definitely one of your consideration.
Definitely.
And now we'll go into the most important part, which is what is the expected price.
Yes.
So first, let's visit what is actually the break-even price for ParkTown.
Yes, correct. The break-even price is 1661 PSF. So after factoring the 20% developer markup, we are potentially looking at 2,132 per square feet. But now, in the light of ORI EOK, do you think developer will launch at 2,100?
I think for integrated projects, it's normal that there will be a 20% premium over non-integrated projects. So I guess if ParkTown is going to be launching at a range of 2003 to 2004, it will still be very well received by buyers. So, but more importantly, we want to highlight that actually there is interestingly going to be another integrated project in Tampines. There has not been a lot of spotlight on this piece because they have not launched yet. This piece of land is actually bought out by Hoi Hub, and we did a calculation. If we were to miss this, right, the other piece bought by Hoi Hub, they actually paid 10% more. So meaning this money would also be passed on to future consumer. If we miss ParkTown, likely the next integrated project we have to pay minimally 10% more.
Wow. Okay, then I think we don't miss this.
Alright, so
in conclusion, not much time left because today is actually CNY reunion dinner. Okay, I do not want you to miss this project because only 3% of Singapore condos are integrated. So come down and catch this rare Pokemon.